incorporate or challenge traditional notions of masculinity, femininity, or gender in your life and how you express? Yeah.
You wanna go?
I think I'll let someone else start this one. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to let the question cook.
Okay. Let me start then. The ways in which I challenge are just letting myself be.
I was about to say, oh my God.
Be, dog. And I think this is crucial, important for me, has always been, right? Because I have younger sibling, 16, love of my life, who is super queer, and I didn't anticipate them being that queer that young.
And yet they had to have a representative.
Right? And I always think it was so beautiful to see, because one of the craziest things that my dad said in response to Ubu Tabane Bami was like, "You're influencing the child." And I was like, Njani, when have you ever seen me dressed like a Zeri? Because you know I'm a princess, so Njani.
Yeah.
But I think what that showed me is that just in my being, I allowed so much room for my younger sibling to do whatever. Just do whatever you want, dog. Like today, if we're going to Umcimbi and Umcimbi says dress like this, and you want to put on a suit, do what you gotta do. I don't give a shit. Do what you want to do. Do what makes you happy. So I think that's definitely how I challenge traditional notions of gender, femininity. It's just like, one, none of this matters. So I'm going to do whatever I want to do in the ways I can.
I want to take this moment to commend you for what you've done, because even though you may not swallow the gravity of what you've done, you have allowed the next person to be. And it seems so easy, Mabati, just be yourself. It's very easy to say until you need to be yourself, because the thing about being yourself, it genuinely, it demands vulnerability from you. For the very fact that you've opened up way for the next person to do that, you've truly allowed your sibling to experience something that is whole, something that is full, something that is free. And gossip for that, because the last thing you need is someone going through trauma and realizing that
oh, nice. And it's never like, I will never be like, change, do this, which is what a lot of younger people experience.
And thank you for that.
It's like taking a step back and being like, oh, this is what generational healing is.
I think we're so quick to speak about generational curses, but not the healing that happens in these households. And even being a queer body and like breaking through very traditional mindsets. It's like having to move. I think people also like, it is doing a lot to me.
We can say that.
Like, I think a lot of people tend to discard the amount of power it takes to be gentle. And I think for me, the best way that I move through challenging, traditional norms and all these weird narratives in my own personal life is allowing myself to consistently be gentle. And every time I think I'm not being gentle, I need to be even more gentle. It's like a constant allowing that cushion.
Okay, pause. Before we all finish, I think we've broken down the questions. So we are at how do we challenge? So then we'll go back to the how do we incorporate?
I suppose
incorporate is challenge. It's one and the same thing.
No, it's not. I don't think it is, right? Challenge is resist. Incorporate is where you can't. What do you do?
Gentleness. And it's kind of like allowing, it's like also showing up as yourself, even in places that are uniquely very uncomfortable.
Just
it's like
piggyback off of that. I think I was going to say that for me, it's also just confronting the discomfort. Gender binaries are uncomfortable, right?
Many things are uncomfortable, and it does not necessarily precisely, and it doesn't necessarily mean assimilate. Because for me, personally speaking, I feel like the reason why we're all on this earth is because we all have a space, and the space will make itself if you allow yourself to take that space. You're uncomfortable, sure, but still be comfortable in your own space by making that space in that uncomfortability. So
I think I challenge it also by showing up and showing off. Honestly, just being as queer as possible. No matter what space I'm in, it could be the most conservative space, still walk in and be myself. Just queer. There is fear. If I'm going to be honest, there is fear. But I always remember the inner child within me, how she or they would look at me and be so proud to see me existing and being exactly who I've always wanted to be. Just being outwardly queer in every single space.
I love that.
I'm going to take it back to the question and kind of about the challenge and the implementation of itself work very synonymously, almost if it's like one thing. If you're challenging it, there's already a form of resistance. So how do you practically go about it? Even being in a household that's indoctrinated heavily with Christianity, challenging can look like you're asking questions. Already that's resistance. Resistance is felt around. You know. And now it's like, okay, yes, be visibly queer, but practically what happens when it isn't safe? What happens when you live with abusive parents? Then the immediate one is to go, okay, let's now play this dual personality situation. And I think that's what also makes queer people so powerful, so versatile, and so diverse, is that rich experience of playing two, you know, okay, at home I'm going to be this, out on the streets I'm going to be this. And I would argue that the challenge is, again, it's an internal one. Yes, we can put obstacles externally and be like, I might not have a roof under my head, I might not have this, or I might get beat, I might have this and this and this and this. And again, like you said, gentleness and self. Once you have challenged it by understanding that this notion is absolutely not alright, this tradition, like, oh my God, I'm going to burn in hell because I'm gay. Whoa, that's wrong. The first step again is the compassion of being like, hey, I'm deserving. I think that's the most important thing you can know. And when you truthfully know it, not feel like it, not feel like I am worthy of life, but know as a queer person. That takes time. That takes steps. And that's okay. But when you know, all of a sudden everything outside starts becoming small.
Sometimes
even if you do begin.
I feel like it's like my brain is moving so fast. And it's like, oh my God, yes,
I need to say this now.
To piggyback off what you're saying, oh my God, thank you so much. Donna. So it's kind of like what happens. You know, when you say that the internal environment that you have inside will always reflect the outside. Usually, I shouldn't say usually, because some circumstances are different. I feel like sometimes, so, abusive, I'm going to use the example. Sometimes it's also kind of having to reflect on self. Am I truly deserving of this abuse? Am I truly deserving of this experience? Is it something to truly be ashamed of? Something truly to be discarded and just locked away in a closet for me to just assimilate and be something I'm not? That's always, for me, that's like the first step into knowing something. Because if you feel like koshab, then you're already on your way to knowing.
Right. Can I answer my incorporating?
Yes, please.
I think you said something because time.
Who said something?
You said something about safety.
Yes.
I think that's also how we incorporate as queerness, is like kind of sussing the vibe for survival. But that's not what I wanted to say. What I did want to say about incorporation is like I used to have this push and pull in my gender queerness, right? And that's because of how womanhood has inscribed itself and imbued itself in me because of how I'm socialized, right? Including what fat phobia does to femininity, right? In ways that make you have to ascribe to femininity because femininity looks a specific way, right? Or womanhood, supposedly. So I think how I've started to incorporate then in how I actualize in my genderedness, in my queerness, in my genderqueerness is just to be like, hey, this is an experience I have, right? So when I was in high school, I staunchly identified as a Black woman who is a lesbian, right? And there's a politic there, right? And I defined myself as that because of the politics that have existed around Black lesbian womanhood. And then when I was like, none of this matters, like, what is gender? It felt like those two things were at odds. But I think how I've begun to incorporate them is to understand that they don't need to be at odds.
It's not necessarily mutually
It's like a mask, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm about to be in a very homophobic space. Let me put my gay mask. What am I? Today I'm gay. But with my homies, fuck them all.
None of it matters.
It's a political statement, like you said.
I think also just queerness, and to sum it up, is just to be.
Do we still have more questions?
There's one more.
It's just to be. Something you don't necessarily need to think about.
Being is a revolution in and of itself.
This is a paragraph for 10 marks. How is the ignorance of predatory behavior that exists in the queer community and its normalization also contributed by not having formal legal structures to assist with the reports?
There's like 3 questions in there.
Yes.
So ask the first one.
Yo, what a predatory?
What's a predatory?
Nothing way.
So ask the first one.
The archives, anyway.
Archives.
How is the ignorance of predatory behavior that exists in the queer community and its normalization that is also contributed by not having formal legal structure to assist with the reports? Okay, I suppose the first question is, how is ignorance in predatory behavior? How does it exist in community and what is its fix? The second question, which allies it, is, okay, first of all, it's ignored, there's ignorance, and there's a form of normalization. It's like it's so okay. And then the third one is, we don't even have a legal system that backs that up.
Yeah.
Okay. I will. Who wants to go? I can go first.
Go
I think firstly, as someone who I was doing law and it disillusioned me so much for reasons other than queerness, right? At the time, it was just like, I am sitting in public international law while watching children in Palestine being formed, right? Yeah. And my brain does not know how to reconcile that, right? I am being told that the UN is structured like this, but I can see that it's clearly not. And something about that site broke me, right? In places where I couldn't reconcile. And that wasn't just in queerness, right? And I'm thinking now that I feel like there's a breakage there still, right? Around what it means to go to SAPS and say, Abut Mazibuko. This is my experience.
Yeah.
My girlfriend beat me up. Utiwe. Like,
oh my God. I don't know. Personal experience. I got robbed, right? And I went to the police station, obviously report, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then the man is there asking me, is like, how did you get robbed? You're a man. You were supposed to fight. Like, who am I? Chuck Norris fighting bullets. I felt so defeatist. Yeah. So please continue.
I think that South Africa is always like a painful place for me because we have this beautiful constitution, and I'll tell you, we have one of the most progressive constitutions in the world.